Hey, this is Rachel from the blog thislovelylittle.farmhouse.com, and I'm gonna show y'all today how I do a Moby wrap and also how you can baby wear a bigger baby in it, since Mary Emma is about 20 pounds and almost 11 months old. So that's what we're gonna do. So when I was about 18, I was at the zoo with my family. We were there with my little brothers, and I saw a new mom that had her baby in a Moby wrap. She was walking around, didn't have to worry about a stroller or anything like that, and it just looked so unbelievably comfortable. So I asked her about it, and she told me what it was and that she loved it. It was so comfortable, so easy. She wouldn't have traded it for anything. So ever since then, I have been waiting and anticipating the time that I would have a baby and I could try the Moby wrap because it looked so neat. Unfortunately, I had to have an emergency C-section with Mary Emma, so I wasn't able to carry her in the wrap a lot when she was a newborn because it went right across where my incision was. It was very painful. I kind of had a long, difficult recovery, so I wasn't able to use it for a while. But when I did finally get the hang of it, it was really convenient. She liked it. I tried to put her in other kind of baby carriers and she did not like them at all. She would cry every time I tried to put her in one. Also, when I would try them, they were just super cumbersome and uncomfortable. They made my shoulders hurt. So the baby wrap by far has been our favorite way of baby wearing. There are also a lot of benefits to baby wearing. One of which, emotional benefits for the mother and the child. For the mother, postpartum depression is a really big thing. A lot of times it's not something that's talked about, but it is a problem and it is something that's very real. And it's definitely, there's studies that talk about when you are in physical contact with your baby, when you're touching them face to face, seeing them, they're seeing you, that it has a very positive effect on your emotional state and helping to combat postpartum depression. So it's good for the mother. And also there are tons of studies, I've linked some in my blog post and I'll link them down here below in the description, that talk about the benefits of physical touch and holding and touching your infant and how beneficial it is to them and their growth and development. Even so much that it affects them on a DNA level. I've linked a study to that. It's just stuff like that is super interesting to me, but really interesting, and you can see that link down below. So for the Moby wrap, the manufacturer recommends a baby weight of 8 to 33 pounds. So that gives you a really wide range, anywhere from newborn up until a couple of years old. I personally can't imagine carrying a 2 to 3 year old in the wrap, but it sounds like it would be very possible if you wanted to do that. So one of the big things is when you have them in the wrap, obviously they're gonna be facing you like this. You wanna always make sure that their airways are clear, that you can see their airways, and make sure that they don't get fabric in front of their mouth or in front of their nose, and also that their chin stays up. You don't wanna let their chin dip down to their chest like that because it can cut off their airflow. That's just what you wanna be really careful about. Okay, so let's see how to do it. The Moby, and I'm sure probably all the wrap style baby carriers, they have, the Moby has a logo here in the front so you can tell where the middle is. So you want to find the middle of your wrap. Okay, and this is just how I do it. I'm sure there are different methods for getting into this thing, but this is how I find it to be the easiest. So you put the logo right in the middle, right here. Okay, and I'm gonna take and bring one side around with my right hand, around my right side, and I'm gonna grab it with my left hand and pull it up over my left shoulder. Now I'm trying to keep it nice and flat while I'm doing it because it just makes it a lot easier once you get it done if you try to keep it flat the whole time. So I'm gonna bring it over my left shoulder and then bring it down in front of my stomach, underneath this part that we already had across. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring this part in my left hand around behind my back and over my right shoulder with my right hand. keeping it flat and also trying to keep it nice and snug while I'm going. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the tail end down through this part. Okay, so now this is what we have. At this point, I'm going to straighten my shirt up a little bit. It always gets really twisted and everything, so. Okay, then these tail pieces, you're gonna cross them and take them around behind you again. What you wanna do, so when you cross them, you're obviously gonna have one on top and one on the bottom. The one on the bottom is the one that if you have, especially if you have a small baby and you're putting their head against your chest, you're gonna want them to be in the side that is against you, closest to you. So if you want them to be on your left shoulder with their head against your left shoulder, you're gonna want to put the left one on the bottom. If you want them to be against your right shoulder with their head on your right shoulder, you want to put the one on the right on the bottom. So whichever one you can switch back and forth to. It is a good idea when you are wearing your baby, if you do it often, to switch back and forth. Don't always have their head on one side, because with their head always turning one way, it'll get their muscles tight on one side and loose on the other and cause some unevenness. The physical therapist told us that. You want to be careful and make sure and switch sides regularly. If not every time, every couple of times, make sure their head's facing a different direction. Okay, so just crisscross those. And then I do try to still keep them flat as possible. And we're gonna go around behind. You're gonna cross them behind your back and bring them back around the front. Now, like I said earlier, I ended up having a C-section, and so I found it more comfortable to tie my knot on the side because I didn't have that knot putting pressure right where my scar was. So I just like doing it that way, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So tie a knot, and as you can tell, I'm doing this thing pretty tight. I don't have to do it as tight for Mariama now because she's a little bigger. But the tighter you do it, the higher that it'll keep them. If you do it loose, they tend to sag down. So I'm doing it pretty tight, and I'm gonna tie it in a knot. Okay. This part that you have around you kind of acts like a seat belt for them, so you can just kind of move it out the way when you're getting the baby in it. Okay, so now we're gonna put the baby in. So the easiest way I found to do it is to just kind of get her up on my shoulder like this. I did her the same way when she was a newborn. And take one side, put her leg in it, put it between her legs, okay? And then take the other side and put it between her legs to where they're both crossing between her legs under her little behind. We have them both crossed between her legs. So you're going to take the one side that's underneath and kind of pull it loose all the way across her behind. Okay, and then take the other side and pull it ungathered. Okay, so we have these two pieces ungathered and across her like this. And we're going to go ahead and pull this other part up. Put her leg down through there and the other leg through the other side. Okay, and then just pull this middle part up. So if your baby is small, you want to have their arms in, and you can, if they will nap, you can put their little head under. Of course, she's kind of big, so she's a little high to do that. But when they nap, you can tuck their head down and pull this up so they're nice and secure. And when they're bigger, you can let their arms be out. With a little baby, you will want to have their arms and shoulders and everything tucked in here, and this pulled up all the way to their neck as high as you can get it, so it keeps them really nice and secure. When they sleep, you can tuck their head under one side, and it keeps them nice and cozy. For an older baby, you can let their arms come out, or you can put one arm out and one arm in. It also will help them stay a little cooler if you have their arms out, but you want to be careful and make sure this part stays up so they don't flip down. Also, with the safety stuff, making sure their nose and their mouth is clear from any obstructions. The general rule is kind of, you want their head to be close enough that you can kiss them. So that's the general rule for how close you want them to be. You don't want them to be way down low where you can't see them. And you can see that the back is pretty straight and even, which helps to distribute the weight and not put pressure on any one place. It's very, very comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel like you're wearing a 20-pound backpack. It feels much more comfortable than that. Okay, so as you can see, even with a older baby, she's almost 11 months old and 20 pounds, it still works really well. It would be very convenient for if you're going somewhere that you can't take a stroller, or somewhere like an airport or something where it's going to be really crowded and you want to know for sure, have your hands on them. And so I'm going to show you how to get them out of it. It's really easy, pretty much backwards of what we did just a minute ago. You want to pull this part down and take their legs out of it. And then pull these parts back and just lift them straight out. So I hope that shows you that it is not nearly as intimidating as it seems. You just have to practice a little bit, and it can be a very convenient and fun way to take care of your new baby. Thank y'all for joining today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this. And we'll see y'all next time.